Hey guys, welcome to another live Zoom session. It is Thursday, January 17th, and we are going to be looking at coin market cap, Bitcoin, Ethereum, quite a few alts. And then after that, I'm going to end the first part of our TA, first part of the show, better said, that involves just TA. And then we'll go into the community questions and answers and anything else you guys want to talk about. And even if you guys want to talk about some more coins, setups. We can definitely do that. I do like the way things are starting to turn a little bit. So if you guys have any coins you want to look at, please feel free to either hit the raise hand button at the bottom of the participation box, or send me the coins you want me to look at on the chat box. I really would be interested in looking at some setups and see what's going on with some of these coins. Even though it's Friday, it's not looking that bad. Let's take a look. Give me 1 second. Let me minimize the screen. Let's open up by looking at coin market cap. We have the overall market cap at $122 billion. The volume has actually gone up 800. It's gone up $800 million in the past 4 hours. When I did the video this morning, it was at 16 billion 40 million. So it's gone up $104 million in 4 hours. That's great. And you can kind of see it here on the top 10. We're starting to see some green, Tron, always green, 3% leading the top 10. We've got Bitcoin starting to turn green at 0.51%. And let's look at the top three gainers in the past 24 hours. We have Power at 19.68%. We have Rep at 14.55%. And LRC at 12.72%. Going into Bitcoin, we had a nice little surge up here. And this is one thing that I find very, very interesting. As I was recording the show this morning, right before I posted it to you guys, there was a candle had just opened. I think it was like 6 minutes old, and it started to go green. And look at this. We had, by the time I ended the recording, we had a nice little flash run up to the 200 EMA. And it's amazing how that 200 EMA, again, is such a hard one to cross. And this is the same comment I've had on this chart for a while now. And you can see that every time it creeps up against that 200, it gets rejected. The good thing, guys, is if you look at the way the 200 EMA is now coming down to the price. So it's closing up the space, the gap between the 100 and the 200, and it's getting closer. Pretty soon, we're going to hopefully break through that. And when we break through that, we want to see a touchback, a confirmation, and then a move to the upside. Hopefully, a move to the upside. So I'm really, really hoping that we're going to see a move this weekend on Bitcoin. Weekends are a little tough for liquidity, but so far the market is not looking too bad. You can see here we've had a really nice. Give me 1 second. Let me close this box here. We've had a nice little run up. We've been staying pretty consistent. We're having a nice bullish crossover between the 9 and the 100. We keep on moving up. The MACD here had a nice bullish crossover on that move when we hit the 200 EMA. So that looks really nice there. We have plenty of room to the upside. You can see the liquidity going up. Well, the past two are not looking too good. I mean, you can't count this one. This one just opened 10 minutes ago. This is some profit taking, but nevertheless, we've had some nice volume. RSI still in a nice point. It's 59 points. So we're still below the overbought indicator. On the 4-hour, we are looking and starting to creep up, just barely. Had a nice little uptick here from that move from the past 4 hours. So this represented that move where we hit the 200, got rejected. So it was able to turn this a little bit more bullish. So we definitely have plenty of room to the upside. RSI sitting at a great spot at 51. Nice volume, the last 8 hours of volume. We're still below that resistance, however. And as a matter of fact, let me move this out of here. You can see here where, remember, on the 4-hour time frame, the 50 EMA is equivalent to the 200 EMA on the 1-hour time frame, and that's exactly where we stop. But the candle, look at this, how this is the same resistance bar that I've had on this chart for a few days now. And look at this again. The candle closed right underneath that resistance line. So this is an area here in the 4-hour time frame that I really want to see break. Now, when we break this, I want to see this. I want to see some consolidation, some support, some resistance turning into new support. So hopefully we can have a move to the upside. I really would love to see Bitcoin get a little bit of a relief rally. You know, maybe to 4,000, 5,000. That would be great. We've just been coming down, sideways down. But here we've been trying to move up. So today has been looking much better in the market. I'm really liking it. Higher time frames, not too happy though. Looking at the 12-hour time frame, we're still below this new resistance, old support of that wedge line. The 1-day time frame kind of gives you a little bit better perspective. We're still pushing underneath the 9 EMA. The 9 EMA is still pushing that price action down. You can see here we're in a downtrend. Look at the tops of these wicks. It just gets in these candles. It gets smaller and smaller. This candle's a little bit higher than this previous candle. At the moment, it still hasn't closed. So I'm hoping that this would be a bullish turnaround. So we have the new candle higher than the preceding candle. So I'm really hoping that in the previous candle, excuse me. So I'm really hoping that this closes. It's still moving up, and we're able to cross that 9 EMA on the 1-day time frame. If so, and we can continue this bullish move, the 30 EMA would be a nice goal to try to reach, which would put us at about 37.55 or so on the 1-day time frame. It's not much from where we're at now. It's about $150, but you know what? I'll take it one step at a time, one EMA at a time. Looking at Ethereum has also looked very nicely, very similar to Bitcoin, had a nice move here to the upside. We had that nice long wick also from the move that Bitcoin made before it got rejected to on the 200 EMA. So that shows where this was rejected here on the 100 EMA. The MACD here on the 1-hour time frame is starting to turn bullish. RSI has a nice uptick, and it's sitting at 55 points. We still have to cross that 100 EMA and then hopefully get over to the 200 EMA, which would put Ethereum at about $126 or so. So we've got two areas we're going to be looking at for Ethereum on the next run up. We want to cross the 100, and we need to either pass this 200 EMA or this old resistance line. It's been acting as support, resistance, and resistance as well here. So we have this cluster here that we need to really break through to start seeing some upward momentum on Ethereum. Looking at Litecoin again has had a really nice move to the upside. We're going to see a nice bullish crossover between the 9 and the 30. So as you're seeing the price action pushing up, it's pushing up the 9 EMA. Pretty soon we'll cross. If the momentum continues, we'll cross that 30. So another move to the upside, hopefully cracking this 100 EMA would be a nice thing to see on Litecoin, which has a similar targets as Ethereum. We want to cross that 100 that we're getting rejected on so many times, and we want to break this 200 EMA. And what do you know? If I snap a line here, look at that. That's also an area of prior resistance. If you look here to the left, we got rejected there, rejected on all of these candles here. So this area, again, looks very similar to Ethereum, the 200 and the rejection line. We need to cross that. Looking at TRX, we had a nice move to the upside. We know that Justin Sun is speaking at some sort of conference for Tron. So we had a nice push to the upside. Smart Money is taking some profits right in here. And now this line here, which was old, I put it in green, but it was red prior, which was old resistance, is now hopefully going to act as new support. So we want to make sure that this line holds. If not, we're going to fall below it again, and then I'm going to turn this green line back into red, which was acting as previous resistance. So let's see if Tron still has some more time left. Remember, leading up to a lot of these events, you see these pushes to the upside, but after the event, you start seeing some sell-off, some profit taking. So just be careful, ride your stop losses up. Remember, buy the rumor, sell the news. The news is happening right now. Tron is a very strong coin, but just don't fall into the hopium that this is different, and people are not going to take profit, because usually people do understand a lot of these fall during the events or after or shortly after the event ends. And then you start seeing a collapse. Not that Tron doesn't have the liquidity or the community behind it to move it back up, but at least you guys can protect some profits or even take some profits. If I were you guys, I'm not in that trade right now. I have been waiting for Tron to come back down, because I definitely want to start. I'm going to stop sleeping on Tron, and I want to start taking some profit. But I have a hard time buying these when I see these moves to the upside. I get it just kills me. So I'm waiting for this to really come down here, fill some gaps, get down to an area where I won't feel too uncomfortable buying. So I will continue to hope that we start seeing some profit taking and some retracement, so that I can start playing with you guys on Tron. Neo had a nice move to the upside. The last two candles, however, haven't looked too good. Let me look at a little bit of the smaller time frame. Let me look at the order book here. Yeah, there's not enough sellers here going on. So the price is a little stagnant at the moment. Not much going on. At least we are holding the support of the 9 and the 100 EMA. So that's a good thing, but we do need to see some liquidity. You can see here for the past 4 hours, it's just been dying. So we need to see some more buys on Neo. Looking at Icon broke that cluster that we're trying to break through on Ethereum and Litecoin. Look at that. We have the resistance line and the 200 EMA. We were able to break above it. We got rejected, came back down to that 9, that really crucial support. Again, broke through it, and then we were successful 2 hours ago by closing above and continuing to the upside. Now, however, we are taking some profit, which is fine, but it's crucial that we stay above this 200 EMA for some sideways action and then another move to the upside. If we lose that 200, I'm afraid that we're not going to break it if we don't get some really good liquidity into the market, because that 200 EMA is one that's very, very tough to break, and you don't want to lose that support that quickly once it's finally broken that resistance. So hopefully it'll lack that support. Looking at XLM, again, looking really nice, like a lot of these charts, was rejected at the 200 EMA. You hear was smacked back down to the 9, great area for support, and it's now creeping its way back up. I do like the fact that the 9 EMA is very, very close to the 200 EMA, because whenever you start from back here and you have to cross all of these EMAs, by the time you reach the 200 EMA, these price action, usually you start seeing them die down. The gas kind of runs out on these. But now that this cluster of support is getting really close to that 200 EMA, hopefully on the next move to the upside, we can break and hold that 200 above the 200 EMA. Looking at Bitcoin Cash, again, nice move to the upside. Not much, but it is looking nice. Bitcoin Cash SV is not looking as good as the other alts. Has been going sideways. Really nothing surprising. You can see here from the MACD. The MACD is a really good reader on how much volatility. And remember, the 1 hour time frame usually is going to show a lot more volatility than the higher time frames. But look how dead it's been on the 1 hour time frame. Usually we see a little bit more movement on the MACD on the 1 hour time frames, but SV has just been silent for quite some time now. So I'm hoping that it's a sleeping giant, and then soon enough, we're going to start seeing some movement. But there's nothing really going on in the news or events with SV like there is for Bitcoin Cash ABC. So we'll see if once Bitcoin Cash starts to move up next month with the anticipation of the futures contract, that maybe Craig White doesn't want to be left behind and starts pumping his own coin. We can only hope. I can only hope, because I'm still holding that shit. So looking at the MACD here on ADA's ADA on Cardano is starting to turn neutral. We are getting some liquidity and just not enough to break through that, break and close above that 9 EMA. So the 9 EMA here, you can see, has been pushing this price action down. We are technically right on it, actually, right on the 9 EMA, but we do need to close it to start seeing some nice momentum like this that we had here previously in the past. When was this? The past few days, about 2 days ago. So hopefully we can start seeing some of that. Let's look at it in the higher time frames. We're probably seeing a little bit of a correction here. Yeah, so we had this nice move to the upside. Well, we had a correction here. So we had this move here. This looks like a correction to at least the fifth, the 0.5 fib level. My fib level, let's see here. Yeah, so we stopped. Actually, we went to 618. So we went to 618. We retraced here, nice 618 retracement, moved to the upside. We were able to get higher than the previous swing high, but we were not able to really close that much higher. We closed the candle technically higher, but not much higher. So we want to see still a little bit movement up to the upside. We're still inside of this push to the upside after the retracement. So we're hoping we can see a little bit more push on Cardano. Looking at ONT, we had this flag pattern that I had mentioned a couple of days ago. We broke out a little bit, not too much. We were able to break a little bit above this resistance line. I had put it green when this broke out, but this actually should be red since it's still acting as resistance. So you can see here, this resistance is very, very, very strong. We need to break above it. Usually when we see resistance this adamant, we start seeing really good support above areas like this. So we need to see some more liquidity coming in here. It's still in a downtrend, as you can see here from the MACD on the 1 hour time frame. The RSI is at 52 points, but we need to bring some more funds and some liquidity back into ONT for another move and a break above that resistance line. I'm going to look at QRC since we do have Mr. Crypto Siraj has been playing this and he's waiting for another move like this to get up here. So yesterday, during the show, I think it was around here. We were here in the show, and I was hoping to break. Yes, we were here in the show. I was hoping to break up. I was telling him that we want to see a break above the 50. We did break above the 50. However, we did not close. You can see here where we closed right underneath the 50 EMA. Next candle open came, then we started just coming back down. Now we're starting to creep up again. We've been attempting to break the 50. We have been unsuccessful, but we're getting this really tight pinch here. So this tight pinch here is looking much better because we're able to hopefully go a little bit sideways and do another attempt to the upside. Once we break this 50 EMA, we should see a resistance point probably about right here. So this will be our next target of resistance, as it was acting as prior support, prior resistance. So more than likely, we're going to stop here before we move further up. Looking at ZIL, I know a lot of you guys are playing ZIL. Here is a couple of the recent gaps open on ZIL from this push to the upside. There are other ones towards the bottom, actually in here. As you can see here, there's a lot more here. But referencing just this move here, this latest move, you can start seeing where we're starting to go on we're starting to head on the downtrend. You can just see it here, this nice, respectable, invisible line. So we're starting to smack this invisible line and we're starting to head south. So just be careful if you guys are in this here. Make sure you ride your stop losses up. Or if you haven't, I would definitely start putting some stop losses when you start breaking this support. Look how strong the 50 EMA has acted as support. Look how well the 30 EMA acted as support. When it broke down, this was acting as support. Now this is reaching its limit here. This is going to start breaking down very soon. If we don't start getting some liquidity, the next move down is going to be the 100 EMA. So protect your profits, guys. If you're in here, ride those stop losses up. One that I want to talk about is Doge. Mr. Mo, pre-show, we're talking about this here. This is a shitcoin that I do not trade, but I respect. I respect it because I've seen this thing pump ridiculously high for no reason. This is the type of coin that has no development behind it, has no team behind it. Last year, at one point, when you looked at their website, it literally told you this is a joke coin, like a funny joke. It's a novelty coin. Nobody's working behind this coin. But you have to think about, when you look at the order book, this is a place where people park their cash. like, you got to think about, guys, remember taxes. If you've got money and you don't want to take profit, and you want to park your money somewhere for a while, you can park it someplace, and until you sell, you don't it's not really a taxable event. So you see these things where, like, people just park their money in here, and that's kind of the reason I don't like playing this as much. But that being said, you cannot ignore these pumps. This right here is a 200% pump. This here is a 300% pump. This here alone is a 100% pump. And it had a nice correction. So from this move here, it had a correction to 886, had a 100% pump. Now it's starting to come back down. This is definitely one to keep your eye on to catch another 100%. If you got some money laying around, you want to catch in for multiple. Keep your alerts on this. It's a good, it would be good to go in, set your sell order as soon as you go in to maybe sell half on a double, get a free position on this here. But this does run. It does take some time, and you have to be patient. This, what you're looking at right now, is the 1 week time frame. So take a look at this, guys. This ran here. This is about a 67% run. And then look how many months, look how many weeks had to go by before it got another pump. Then it had to wait another 5 weeks before you had a nice big pump. Then it's been going down for the past 2.5 months. And then we had this move to the upside for a 100% move. Now it's due for another move to the upside. So this is one that I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to be parking some money in it, and see if I can get a free position on it. So just keep your eye on that. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, this is what I want to show you guys this, so you guys can understand what this is. These are bots trading back and forth. That's why you have these perfect lines, these resistance and support lines. They're perfectly how do I say it? They line up perfectly, better said. Unlike organic growth. Organic growth, you have a lot of movement, like this. That's an organic growth, unlike something like this. But again, for you guys who've been around for a while, this joke coin can make you some money. So just want to bring it to you guys' attention. It's in an area here where 58 points is it's pretty low for Doge. So if you guys again have some extra money, take a look at it. All right, guys, this ends our first part of the Zoom session as far as the TA is concerned. We're going to now go into our second part of the show, which is going to involve Q&A and some participation from you guys. So if you guys want me to look at some coins, you guys can either click on the raise hand button at the bottom of your participation box, or you can type your question or your request in the chat box inside of the Zoom application. Let me look at the Zoom application chat box. We got hello, Anusha, MG, nice to see you. I don't have any requests in there, guys, so I am assuming no one has any questions. I am looking at the participation box, no raised hands. Oh, all right, guys. Mr. Mo, did you have anything you wanted to add? Mr. Mo? No? Okay. Okay. Okay, great. Can you do me a favor? Can you look at can you put a heat map up? JDM wanted to look at a heat map, and you're much better explaining the heat maps than I am, since I don't really follow them as much. Are you still seeing those 100 BTC bags getting eaten up? Wow. Okay. No. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Thank you guys very, very much for participating and having and giving us your time to look over the market and go over some of these points here on the heat maps. I will do another recording tomorrow morning for our morning brief. And until then, if anything pops up, I'll be posting some charts on our Discord channel. And if you guys have any questions, you can always hit me up on Discord. Hit me in at Bleeding Crypto, and it pings my phone, so that if I'm not looking at the actual Discord, at least I'll see that message that you guys are trying to get my attention. You guys have a wonderful afternoon. Talk to you soon.